Hi Subrangshu, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Hi, how are you, Vivek?
I'm doing good. Thank you for joining us today, and I'm really looking forward to this chat. So, Subrangshu, you have been a quality leader for a long time now, for nearly a decade or so. And I think you have worked in the kind of facilities which are not very common. So, you have dealt with facilities which manufacture tablets and capsules, but at a very large scale. If I'm not wrong, I think nearly 3.5 to 4 billion tablets capacity on a yearly basis. So, given the scale of the operations that you have handled, uh, I'm really excited to just see what we can discuss today, and how the this chat today will be able to help the listeners think about their own facilities, at the same time apply some learnings that we discover. So thank you for joining again, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Vivek. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah,
And it's a good initiative which you have taken, calling all the industrial expert and sharing their knowledge in a single platform. It's really, I appreciate this.
great. So, Shubhangshu, let's get going. The first thing I have on my mind is, while working with a facility at such large scale, uh, and today's topic will be all about uh, strategies to manage risk, and we'll also go into some operational elements towards the end. So, given such a large scale, do you feel that the approach will differ from maybe a mid-size or a small-size facility?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely it will differ from the more and more the facility is bigger, the complexity is bigger. So, and why I am saying that, first of all, we we have to understand that all the manufacturing sector, be it automobile or mobile, or you can say FMCG, any pharmaceutical sector, any manufacturing sector, the complexity is there. Everywhere it complexity is there. But this pharmaceutical business or pharmaceutical manufacturing, the complexity is totally different, because in pharma we are dealing with the people who are not healthy, they are sick people. So what is happening, that whatever is our product, that is going to a sick people to make them healthy. Now, it is not the case with the other sector people like car or you can say mobile. If there is any manufacturing defect, you can always replace them. But for pharma, it cannot be. You cannot replace a life. So, the seriousness of our job, the complexity of our job is totally different. Our mission is to provide the, I can say, the safe and effective medicine to the patient in a timely manner, so that we need to maintain the certain quality standards, and there should not be any drug shortages or any product shortages there in the market. That is our main mission that we have to ensure. Considering this seriousness, or I can say the complexity, in different countries like US, Europe, and all those, everywhere the regulatory bodies has uh, has provided or has set some standard, quality standard for us, like USFDA, TGA. In UK it is MHRA, Australia it is TGA, even in India also Indian FDA. So they have set us some standard, give us some standard or guideline, which as a pharmaceutical professional we have to abide by. But that is not the everything, if you can ask me, because that is the minimum requirement which we should do, which we should follow. because if you see any specification, like any pharmacopoeial specification or pharmaceutical specification is given to us, in that specification they used to written as, or they used to mention that drug content should not be less than 95%. So like 95% is the minimum which you need to maintain or which you need to achieve. But our target is always to achieve the 100% drug, because again I am saying that it is going to the patient and we need to cure that patient. So our target is to maintain the 100% always. And here now the complexity is coming more when the manufacturing size is more, because see, year on year or month on month producing billions of tablet capsule and thousands of batches, maintaining the same consistency with this product is really complex. It is not a easy job, because to maintain that you should have some robust manufacturing process, robust analytical process, and not only that, you should have a robust supply chain, and which includes starting from the getting the approved appropriate vendor for raw material and packing material, and finally delivering our end product to the patient. And having this during pandemic, we have all understood what is the importance of a good robust supply chain. So this is another thing. And after that, we are dealing with humans. We are people who is working in manufacturing sector in a large organization. We have a different machines. So all those things making more complex when it is coming to a large volume manufacturing units or product, comparing to mid size or you can say small size company. So the more and more the size is more, the complexity is coming more.
Yeah, no, that's fascinating to hear. So this brings to my mind that um, while we are operating at scale, there is a significant amount of complexity, and of course, you brought it out nicely that in pharma you are dealing with people who need to get healthy, and the target should always be to maintain the highest possible level of quality in the drugs that goes out. So, so according to you, where do the current methods have a bit of limitation? And even before that, do you mind us walking through what the current methodologies are? And then ultimately, if you can just touch upon some limitations that we can address later on today.
Okay. See, like in recent time, to maintain the supply continuity, or I can say to maintain the safe, effective drug in any pharma industry, the people used to perform a risk assessment. And now, this risk assessment, we have a traditional approach which every pharma organization is following. Now, typically, what is the traditional risk assessment? This is more kind of a reactive approach. Like if something incident happen or some deviation happen or something happen, then in any industry, what they're seeing that how severe is the incident, what is the likelihood or chances of occurrence, and what is the level of detection is there in any pharmaceutical site or any manufacturing site. But it is missing the main point, which again I am coming back to the supply continuity of the drugs to the patient. Not only supply continuity, quality drugs supply continuity to the patient. And this has been recognized by the regulatory bodies, fortunately. And recently, ICH has revised their quality risk assessment or quality risk management guideline. And what are the reasons they have revised? They have revised mainly for the four reasons. They are saying that in a pharma industry, we have a lack of understanding of formalities. or there is a high levels of subjectivity. Third, they are saying because of high levels of subjectivity, there is a lack of clarity on the based on the risk-based decision making. See how nicely everybody, all the regulatory bodies are understanding our complexity also. And the main part, they are saying that the current traditional approach of risk assessment is failed to manage the supply and product availability in the risk. So again, there also ICH also talks about the product availability to the market. And this is not a reactive. This is a proactive approach which it is upcomingly coming.
Yeah.
Now, if you see the world, or I can say mainly US or Europe, the major concern in pharmaceutical or pharmacy or drugs in US, they have a drug shortages. And the number is very severe, the major concern. Most of the some of the important drugs, they are shortages. So what are the reasons, main reasons for drug shortages, typically how it is? So US has done that survey, US FDA, and they are saying that the major two reason for any drug shortages, one is quality defect in the product, because of that product recall is happening, and the second thing is that any bad inspection of the site, which leads to stoppages from manufacturing from that particular site. Now, if you see both the things, both the incident, or I can think both these things are happening. After happening, we are getting to know, or after happening, we are understanding that
Yeah.
this is happened. So again, it is a reactive. So US is also coming up with their new concept, that quality management maturity metrics. From there, they want to take the risk based, proactive risk, that what are the drugs may get shortages or which facility under risk. So accordingly, they will perform the inspection also. So slowly, the concept of traditional risk assessment is moving to proactive risk assessment, which is going to happen, which will be mainly keeping on mind the patient safety and the drug availability to the patient.
Yeah, no, I think that all makes perfect sense. And you touched upon the drug shortages nicely and highlighted the first couple of points. And I believe that FDA themselves are now using data science and AI to shortlist the or select the sites that are eligible for inspections more than the others. I think they're calling it risk-based
Yeah,
selection of risk-based inspections. So I think it's
correct.
encouraging to see that FDA themselves are now getting deep into the realm of data and AI. So I think it's encouraging signs for the industry as well. Before we jump quite there yet, I would like to ask you, what are the traditional technologies that you have seen, being used to tackle the risk assessments in an effective manner, specifically for large-scale manufacturing environments?
See, basically, we are using quality management system, quality EQMS system. We are using different. There are softwares are there. We are using laboratory information management system. We are using learning management system. We are using document management system, or I can say manufacturing execution system, which is MES. But basically, see the limitation of all those systems are, these systems are integrated with the machine at a very basic level. So whatever data is generating, that is limiting us from getting the actual input or any effective data, which through which we can monitor or improve our product, or we can avoid any future failure. See,
Yeah.
ultimately, to maintain the drug shortages or anything, we have to maintain that our product should not, we should anticipate the future failure. And if there it is lacking, this recent data or whatever software we are using, that proactively using and proactively risk assessment, that is not happening in this current softwares.
Yeah. So, given that limitation, do you end up into any sort of hassles when you are conducting some analysis, investigations, figuring out ways to make product more robust? So, can you share some light on uh, the the hassles involved in that process as of today?
See, hassle means, as I mentioned, that these systems, like, if I say you that I we are doing APQR, so, and we are using mini tablet, and we are seeing that there is a trend is uplifting, so, or trend is varying from the product.
Yeah.
But are we interpreting this data correctly? Because we are getting the data in the format which we have designed and given. Now, if you see AI, or if you see the concept of AI, see, AI has a enormous power. From every format they can get the data and quickly, and they
Yeah.
can interpret those data, train those data, so that we can get the exact interpretation of those data very rightly. So there we are facing those challenges, that we are not able to identify the future failures.
Right. So I guess what I'm hearing is that interpretation of data is one area where you feel AI can add a significant amount of value. And
Yeah.
we'll touch upon that. The second bucket, if I may add, is analyzing large amount of data and quickly finding out patterns, anomalies, insights, which may take a huge amount of time to uncover or may not be uncovered at all given the limitations of the current
Yeah.
analytics methodology. So I guess uh, interpretation of data and anomaly detection. Can we say that these are the two areas which you are looking at as a potential advantage
Yes.
of bringing in AI into into the pharmaceutical operations,
Yeah. Correct. Correct.
right? No, I think we need to go a little bit deeper into that. So, Shubhrangshu, according to you, how can we use and leverage AI to improve interpretation of data across pharmaceutical domain, and specifically with respect to the risk assessment and just going into the quality management aspects as well.
Okay. So, first of all, Vivek, we have to understand that where we can use AI. So, like, we can use AI to do a process design, from getting the data from machine learning in a very quick way. If you see in today's, but specifically for generic industry, there is a lot of pressure in the formulation development or R&D, where they have a under pressure to launch the product on an appropriate time. So if we use process design, AI in the process design, then that will be one thing where we can use AI. The second part of the thing is that process control. AI can be used in the process control. Again, machine learning data, from where we can get the data and we can control the process to get our desired output. Then monitoring of the process, and to anticipate any future failure from the machine learning data. This is another point where we can use AI from in manufacturing process. The next one is maintenance activity. See, in equipment,
Yeah,
it will be a next revolution in the pharmaceutical industry, which has to going to happen in the current scenario, that in machine maintenance activity, AI will be used heavily. The next one is trend monitoring. Whatever trend is coming, so there we can monitor those trend and we can interpret those data. So these are
yeah,
four and five areas are there where we can use AI for to AI technology for our benefits, or I can say for manufacturing activity. So these are the main thing which I can say.
right. I think you said, something really interesting around maintenance here. So, do you mind just elaborating a little bit more on what are the current, challenges and problems that you would like to see solved in the equipment maintenance space?
Okay. See, why I told you that this is going to happen. Typically in pharma industry, now what we are doing with the machines, we are performing preventive maintenance for any machines. And normally when we are doing preventive maintenance, that time it is a in a defined schedule. Any preventive maintenance is carrying out. Now that schedule is applicable for all the equipments. If we can consider some compression machine or granulation machine, if a granulation machine is there, it will be implemented in all the granulation machine or compression machine, preventive maintenance. And when we are performing the preventive maintenance, this schedule is based on some timeline or some kappa has been given and something. But now the concept will come when the based on the AI, the preventive maintenance concept will be converted to predictive maintenance concept. Like what going to say is that based on the breakdown history, like equipment breakdown, or what is the equipment health, or what is the age of the equipment, or what are the alarms it is giving during the manufacturing process, so we can predict then when that machine is going to get shut down, or when this machine will get breakdown. So accordingly we can predict that breakdown and we can rectify this problem without getting any breakdown, which will improve our downtime. It will downtime, there will not be line stoppages, there will not be any downtime, and effectively the longevity of the equipment will be more. So that is why I am saying that this is a remarkable thing which is going to happen. Not only that, based on the machine learning data, it will have that when the preventive maintenance or predictive maintenance can be scheduled, and based on that anybody can, or any industry can assign the resources. So it will be having a cost saving, it will be a time saving, and it will be enormous impact on this machine learning process, or I can say the machine maintenance process. So that is why I am saying that this is the next revolution is going to happen in the industry through AI, this machine learning.
Yeah, I think, you know, if we look at the equipment maintenance in a little bit more details, there are always signals which you can pick up, which can perhaps make maintenance plan, a little bit more dynamic than it may be today. So, like you rightly said, having an agnostic plan for all the equipment for conducting a planned maintenance without considering the health and condition of each individual asset. It's a pretty generic approach and has
Yes.
certain limitations. So do we start listening signals in terms of, let's say, the wear and tear, the amperes, or the noise coming from equipment? So, what are some of those signals that can guide us in the right direction? That if we apply some forecasting models, if we apply some anomaly detection methodologies, can help us take decisions more proactively and more effectively.
Yes. So basically,
Yeah,
the main thing we can do is we can categorize the alarms. That is the first thing which machine is giving before getting breakdown or before getting anything happen. Every machine, each machine during the operation, it used to give alarms. So if we start trending those alarms, that what are the alarms it is giving, and if we put those alarm trending in the particular manner and particular you can say the machine learning process from AI, then we can understand that which part of the equipment is going to for a breakdown or wear and tear, and accordingly we can take a corrective action. Similarly, if we see that what are the breakdowns it is giving, so repeatedly if some breakdown is coming, so what is the problem of those breakdown? And if we teach those things in equipments in AI, then it will be really helpful for us.
makes sense. So just switching the gears a little bit, Shubhrangshu, you have managed large teams, you have managed quality people for a while now. Have you seen the mindset shift from, let's say, a few years ago to now in terms of how people are perceiving AI being used in the workspace, specifically in the pharmaceutical manufacturing environment? What's your reaction on uh, how people are perceiving and what's their mindset like around AI?
I'm glad that you have asked this question,
Right.
because because there is a so much of discussion that whether AI will replace the manpower or human being or anything, or whether AI will replace.
Yeah,
See, first of all, we have to understand and we have to accept that any change is a challenging. In case of if you want to change anything, it some challenges will come. Now what are the major challenges we will get from the people? See, people will be reluctant because their misconception about AI, that whether it is it will replace my job, or whether my whatever I am doing, that may not happen. The second part of the thing is that reliability of the data. If AI is giving some data, then people may ask, no, no, how it is not possible, or it is the reliability of the data is a question. The third thing is people have to know that how to use AI. This is the major thing. So these are the major challenges which people's point of view we are facing. Now, what are the solution, or how come we can overcome these things? First thing, see, first of all, we have to all understand that in case of any technology upgradation, the human upgradation should be there. Now, wisdom cannot be replaced with information. AI is giving us the information. Like in pharmaceutical industry, there are humongous data. There are lots of data that there has been a. Now, if you ask me, AI potentially will surpass human being to collect the data, to collect the data from different sources, from different formats, with a different I can say the more number of data in a quickly manner. So AI will surpass human being on this aspect, absolutely. There I do not have any doubt, because see, when human being is first of all, they cannot do it so many data in such a small time. And sometimes the, the interpretation of the data is sometimes is like a if human intervention is there, then it may involve the biasness also. Like I can give you example, small example, that now, like now when I am doing a traditional approach of risk assessment, I am giving some number like 5 for severity, 3 for occurrence, 2 for detection, and I am doing. Now if you ask somebody what is the basis of the number, they will say something that based on the data or based on this and all those. But we cannot say that it is unbiased. And that is why ISH also is coming up about the subjectivity of this risk assessment concept. But if you give this job to AI will definitely will do based on their data, and whatever data input is there, and they will give us through us the interpretation of this data. What AI cannot do, AI cannot do the judgment of those data, that creativity, because it involves the creativity, it involves the human touch. Like if AI can give me a data that how many human error has been occurred in my lab, or how many failure has been occurred, but what kappa I have to take for to prevent that human error, for that creativity or judgment or wisdom is required. So what I am trying to say is that with the leveraging of adaptation of AI, the role of human is going from doer to a collaborative leader. So what they are doing now, their energy, wherever their energy is going to collection of data or humongous data, maintaining those data, this will shift their work from there to interpretation, which is a more, I can say, more scientific, or I can say it is a more higher order job. So the doer will be more elaborate, evolved with that leader. So that is how technology, upgradation of technology and upgradation of human nature, both will happen. And this concept we have to tell all the people who is going to adopt AI very soon. Otherwise, there will be always a misconception about AI, and there will be always reluctance to adopt AI in the industry.
Great. Shubhrangshu, thank you so much for all the wonderful insights that you have added today. And yeah, I think we touched upon a variety of topics. We analyzed large scale manufacturing. We concluded with a bit of human element as well. I have so many more questions that I want to ask you, but we'll have to wrap it up today. I would love to invite you again on our podcast in a while. Probably we'll come up with another topic or so. But any final message you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, thank you, Vivek. The final message is for adaptation of AI, please go slow. We have to do a incremental way. First, identify the areas where we have to adopt the AI at your facility. There are lots of AI systems are there. So choose AI software or AI systems very carefully, which is applicable for your site and your budget or your scalability. So choose accordingly. Evaluate your infrastructure, those machines are, whether those machines are capable to handle AI or giving the data of AI. So these things, and upgrade your people so that they can also adopt the AI carefully. So I have a confidence, I have a belief that all the changes pharmaceutical industry has been adopted very nicely, and we will take these changes, or we will get this position or on AI also very soon. So all the best and hope for the best. We'll get there.
That's a great piece of advice, Shubhrangshu. And with that, we'll wrap up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.